Ladies and gentlemen, the state has charged these three men with a crime. And the state has supported that charge with the testimony of two witnesses, Sarah Tobias, who told you how three men raped her, and she told you how she heard other men shouting encouragement to her attackers. Did she name these other men? No. Did she describe these other men? No. Could she tell you what these other men shouted? No. Her sworn testimony, her poignant, heart-rending sworn testimony was an appeal to your pity. And if her story is true, you should pity her. But even if her story is true and you do pity her, that has nothing to do with this case, because those three men did not rape her. Her sworn testimony is nothing, and you must treat it as nothing. Now, if you wish, you can also treat as nothing the testimony of her lover, Larry, who told you what kind of woman she is. And you can treat as nothing the testimony of the bartender, Jessie, who told you that she was so drunk she could barely stand. And you can treat as nothing the testimony of her friend, Sally, who told you what to buy some things for when she first saw our clients. Our case does not depend on those witnesses, just as the people's case does not depend on Sarah Tobias. The people's case depends on Kenneth Joyce. If you believe him, you'll convict those three men, and if you don't, you'll acquit them. Do you believe him? Why did Kenneth Joyce testify? Every day for months he said to himself, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. And finally he purged that guilt and he took it. Kenneth Joyce told you he watched a rape, and he told you that everyone else in that room watched a rape. How did he know that? Did he read their minds? To solicit a crime, you must first know that it is a crime. Well, who knew it? Kenneth Joyce. Do you think it matters to Kenneth Joyce who shouted? In his mind, every person in that room was guilty. He told you that. And Kenneth Joyce, who is guilty, who did watch a rape and do nothing, will purge himself by bringing down anyone who was in that room. And of course, at no legal cost to himself. While those three men face prison. Do you believe him? Well, if you do, convict. And if you don't, and I know you don't, acquit.
Miss Murphy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paulson has told you that the testimony of Sarah Tobias is nothing. Sarah Tobias was raped, but that is nothing. She was cut and bruised and terrorized, but that is nothing. All of it happened in front of a howling crowd, and that is nothing. Well, it may be nothing to Mr. Paulson, but it is not nothing to Sarah Tobias. And I don't believe it's nothing to you. Next, Mr. Paulson tried to convince you that Kenneth Joyce was the only person in that room who knew that Sarah Tobias was being raped. The only one. Now, you watched Kenneth Joyce. How did he strike you? Did he seem especially sensitive? Especially observant? Did he seem so remarkable that you immediately said to yourselves, of course, this man would notice things other people wouldn't. Do you believe that Kenneth Joyce saw something those three men didn't see? In all the time that Sarah Tobias was held down on that pinball machine, the others didn't know? Kenneth Joyce confessed to you that he watched a rape and did nothing. He told you that everyone in that bar behaved badly. And he's right. But no matter how immoral it may be, it is not the crime of criminal solicitation to walk away from a rape. It is not the crime of criminal solicitation to silently watch a rape. But it is the crime of criminal solicitation to induce or entreat or encourage or persuade another person to commit a rape. Hold her down, stick it to her, make her moan. These three men did worse than nothing. They cheered and they clapped and they rooted the others on. They made sure that Sarah Tobias was raped and raped and raped. Now, you tell me, is that nothing?